Welcome to the Dr. Ashley Show. I'm Dr. Ashley, and today I want to talk about how to burn fat in the most easiest ways when you're over 40. If you're over 40 and you're struggling to lose weight, you are not alone. But the good news is that you can make big changes in your metabolism without extreme diets, without overcomplicated workouts. The simplest and most effective way to drop the weight and keep it off after the age of 40, so that you also have good energy, you're not starving yourself, is to teach your body how to burn fat like it was designed to. Nearly every cell in the body wants to burn fat for fuel. We just don't let it because of how we're eating, because of how we've been told to eat, because of how we've been taught to eat. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to actually get your body to burn fat effectively. You don't have to starve yourself. You don't have to exercise like crazy. So let's dive in right now to the easiest ways to burn fat after 40. Now, if this is one of the first times you've listened to one of my podcast episodes or one of my videos, I am Dr. Ashley. I'm the owner and founder of PhD Weight Loss, where to date we have served over 11,600 people. And we have helped these folks drop in total over 500,000 pounds nationwide. And my goal with this channel is to give you the information you need to create positive change in your own life. So let's dive in first to understand what your body needs. Like, why are you experiencing this stubborn weight gain? Now, weight gain isn't just about calories in and calories out. If you've listened to me before, you'll understand that, we don't defy the law of thermodynamics. The calories in and out, they play a part, but the source of our calories matter. What dictates what we do with these calories we consume are our hormones. Our hormones tell our fat cells to either store that energy, that calorie you just consumed as more fat, or they will tell our body to burn that calorie, that energy we consumed, as fat. So what we need to do is to eat the type of foods that will tell the body and direct the hormones to tell our fat cells to burn the fat for fuel. Now, when you eat all day, when you have snacks throughout the day, you have sweetened drinks, you have your oat milk lattes, when you're constantly grazing. And by the way, I did this when I was dancing professionally. I was a professional ballet dancer, and I would be eating all the time, hungry. And when I was eating one meal, I would think about what I was going to eat next. And what I was doing, and what you're doing if you're following this type of approach as well, is that you're always burning sugar for fuel, never tapping into the fat stores. Now, the leanest person has about 60 to 70,000 calories of fat stored on their body. But for most of us, the problem is I want you to imagine that the fat stored on your body is locked away in these freezer stores. And what we need to do is unlock the padlock. We need to teach the body how to open up the freezer stores so that you can burn all of those calories you have stored as fat. That's when we can shift the body into this fat burning mode. It does not mean that you go hungry. It means that you are stabilizing your blood sugar. You're spacing your meals appropriately. You're focusing on the foods that allow you to tap into that stored fat. And it's unbelievable when you're able to do that. You will have better energy, better sleep, less joint pain, less inflammation. Oh my gosh, blood pressure. If you've got high blood pressure, that will go down in a matter of weeks. If you are pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic, you do not have to be diabetic. You can largely reverse that. We see that in our clients at PhD Weight Loss all the time. And this comes from shifting your metabolism and teaching your body how to burn fat for fuel. It feels so good. You can quiet the food noise, quiet the food chatter naturally. You don't need all of these expensive and high-risk drugs. You can do this on your own by how you're eating and when you're eating. And mindset does play a part in this as well. So if you think teaching your body how to burn fat naturally, if you are interested in dropping weight without the use of supplements or medications, then you should definitely check out PhD Weight Loss. If you're listening to this on a podcast platform, go to myphdweightloss.com to learn more. If you are watching this on YouTube, just go into the description and there will be a link, and everything's going to guide you to give us a call because we're really kind and compassionate. And so you're going to give us a call and you will talk to a real person where we help you figure out what the best plan of action will be for you. Hey guys, quick interruption to the Dr. Ashley show. After a decade of helping thousands shed pounds, I realized the need for an electrolyte mix tailored to support lean muscle mass and metabolic needs. People always talk about electrolytes for different sports or lifting weights, but what about for weight loss? It's a marathon of its own. Drumroll please, introducing Electrolyte Plus, your marathon champion. Packed with patented ingredients for optimal absorption, it fuels metabolism, supports adrenals, and stabilizes blood sugar. Say goodbye to those headaches and lightheadedness. Visit drashleywellness.com and use code Ashley10 for 10% off your first purchase or 20% off your first subscription order with free shipping. Plus, enjoy a 30-day money-back guarantee. Back to the show. So one of the big steps in teaching the body how to burn fat for fuel is your meal timing. Now, I always say that I believe there are 4 macronutrients. There's protein, fat, carbs, and meal timing. It's really important when you eat is just as important as what you're putting in your body. And when we hit the age of 40, our body doesn't switch from burning sugar to burning fat very easily. So we really have to be cognizant of when we're eating for that reason. Now, you've probably heard of intermittent fasting or fasting for longer periods of time. At PhD Weight Loss, we utilize intermittent fasting as a tool, but I've come to realize over my 15 plus years of experience helping thousands of people drop weight that not everyone does well with fasting. And if you really look at the research behind intermittent fasting, it's not a huge weight loss tool. Now, maybe if you're listening to this, maybe you had great success with it. That's great. But for a lot of people, I find if they try to force their body to burn fat by not eating, they ultimately tend to overcompensate later in the day, end up binging and overeating, and we don't see successful fat loss. So my suggestion, if you're new into this, is to start with meal spacing. So begin by consuming 2 to 3 protein-forward meals a day and space them about 4 to 5 hours apart. So this might be like a breakfast and then a lunch and then a dinner. For people who are just starting their fat loss journey, I would also add a mid-afternoon snack in there so that they aren't ravenous by the time they hit that dinner meal. My ultimate goal is that no one goes into a meal being so ravenous. Yes, hungry, yes, manageable. And I will say that once you become fat adapted, you'll find that your hunger is much more dull. It's not over-consuming and it doesn't take you where you feel like you can't make a wise decision when you're hungry. It's just a very different feeling. And I hear that from clients all the time. Now, if you find, gosh, I've got this clear morning, breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner, then something you could play with next is giving your body 12 hours between your last meal of the day and your first meal of the next day. So this would mean, for example, finishing dinner by 7 p.m. and not eating again until 7 a.m., maybe even 7 to 9 a.m. So just different ways that you can play with meal timing. The next thing that you want to do is focus on protein. You do not want to starve yourself or severely restrict calories. That's just going to shut down the metabolism. Most of us are under eating protein. We know that protein is the primary building block of maintaining muscle mass, and everyone's goal over the age of 40 is to maintain your muscle mass because naturally it just starts to decrease. So eating adequate protein and then importantly overloading the muscles by some kind of resistance training is going to be the key. Every meal that you consume, depending upon your body size, should be around 25 to 50 grams of protein. If you're petite, if you're a woman, then it's going to be on the lower end. If you're a man and you've got a lot of muscle mass, then it's going to be on the higher end. But we want to think high quality. If you're open to it coming from an animal protein source, That's going to be great. You can add some healthy fats into that meal. If you want to know exactly what to eat, like a specific guided meal plan, then you should definitely check out my video where I guide you on how to drop 20 pounds. If you're listening to this on a podcast platform, come on over to YouTube. If you're already on YouTube, just go into the description, click the link, and check out that video. It's a really popular, helpful video. Now, once your body is adjusted to eating less frequently, let's say you were a grazer, you were eating every 2 hours, and now you're eating those clear meals and you're not like starving before them, that means that your body is burning fat between them. You can experiment with longer stretches between those meals if it feels good, if you don't find that you overcompensate later in the day. So let's say that you finish eating at 7 p.m. and then you don't eat your next meal until 11 a.m., maybe noon, then that gives you that 16-hour or so window of not eating. And then you consume your regular food, making sure you're getting adequate protein in there during that 8-hour window of eating. So again, not necessary to teach the body how to burn fat, but for a lot of people, a lot of our clients at PhD do like to play with this on and off as a tool. I like that you have the ability to do it, right? I look at this as metabolic freedom. If you are traveling, for example, and we know usually there's only crappy food available when we travel, then you don't need to eat. You could fast until you get good, healthy food that your body deserves. I like to feel liberated from food, free from food. And this, teaching the body how to burn fat, being able to have longer stretches of time where you don't need food, can be really helpful in this. For some people, they enjoy doing movement during their fasted period. So let's say you're following this 16-8 window of fasting to eating. You wake up in the morning. You could do exercise during this period. You could do some high-intensity interval training. You could do some resistance training. If you find that you like the way that it feels, then this could be something you add to your routine. I would just make sure that you are consuming protein pretty close after finishing the workout, because if you're not trained very well, then timing of your protein consumption is important. Now, if you're used to working out, you've worked out, exercise, trained for many years, then you don't have to be as cautious around your protein timing. It's also important as you go through this journey of becoming fat adapted and having longer stretches potentially without food, that you're able to recognize mental hunger. From my experience, I think overcoming mental hunger is tougher than physical hunger. You know, if you've spent years snacking out of habit, out of boredom, out of some kind of emotion, it could be sadness, it could be happiness, it could be celebratory, then this is the hardest part to shift. I talked to a client who was a smoker, and he said that changing his diet was pretty similar to stopping smoking, where the nicotine was out of his body pretty quickly, but that habit of having something in his mouth and rolling down the window and relaxing in his car was something totally different to overcome. This is actually why at PhD Weight Loss, we have behavior audio sessions that are 20 minutes, and they actually have binaural beats in these audio sessions that retrain the neural pathways in the brain, because a lot of dropping weight comes from the mind, right? It's a process of letting go of the food that no longer serves you, the fat weight that no longer serves you, but also all of the emotions tied to it. So at PhD, we really focus a lot on those sabotaging thoughts and the triggers that might come up during this journey of releasing this excess fat weight, of releasing these foods you say you love that don't love you back. As you're adjusting, I think that it's helpful to keep a journal, to write down what emotion you're feeling when you crave a specific food, to notate cravings and say, okay, this is a craving, it will pass, label it, right? If you don't feed the craving, you will not die. You'll actually be stronger for it. Helpful tactics are also to drink electrolytes and water. You could get some Dr. Ashley Wellness electrolytes. We've got those linked in the description for you. If you want to head over there and you're listening to this on a podcast platform, go to drashleywellness.com. I also have GlucoCut Plus there, which is a really great supplement that helps to curb cravings. Another tactic is to distract yourself with a task or activity. Change your state. And the easiest way to change your state is to change your physical state. So what I mean by that is get up and go for a walk. Go outside, call a friend, talk to your partner, listen to music, go move your body, distract yourself. And then if you feel like you've got cravings throughout the day, it's usually because you're not consuming enough protein and fat and or eating above your carbohydrate tolerance level. So definitely checking that out. Are you eating, maybe it doesn't seem like that many carbohydrates compared to where you were, but it could still be too much for your body, or maybe you're avoiding fat because you feared it. Maybe you're not consuming enough protein or enough high quality protein. Most importantly, be patient with yourself. It will take about 6 weeks if you have a very clear plan, a very smart plan in place to teach your body how to burn fat for fuel. And I would say most people aren't super effective at it until 3 months down the line. So give your body time. But I will tell you, it is so worth it. I was there before I was able to teach my body how to burn fat for fuel. I know what it feels like. And I also know what it feels like to have this metabolic shift. And it feels amazing. It is so worth it. If you need help creating this shift in your body, you've got questions around it, that's what I'm here for. That's what our team at PhD Weight Loss and Dr. Ashley Wellness are here for, is to teach you how to create this positive metabolic shift in the body. So please, if you are watching this on YouTube, drop any questions around this down below. We're here for you. If you're listening to this on a podcast platform, leave your feedback, leave a review, or if you've got questions, come on over to YouTube and ask them. All right, you guys, I hope that this was helpful. Remember, you've got to step up to make the change. Lead with your heart, train your mind, and do not negotiate with your body. I'll see you next time.